Alright, so we are going to do a very interesting series. If you look at the background, that's what it is. The Saint Row series. And it is a very good series. I like it. It's a very spoof on Grand Theft Auto, and it makes it funnier, but it's a completely different game in terms of it. I mean, and it is really good. And it was originally called, if you don't know this, it was originally called Bling Bling. And I don't know, I can't remember why they changed it, but it was originally called Bling Bling. And I don't know, but they wanted to do something very corny, but they wanted to do about, gang banging, gangsters, still, Grand Theft Auto, stealing stuff, and stuff like that. And then they put it into this amazing game, which spawned it about, you know, 5 games. So pretty good so far. And so, but it all started with a little game called Saints Row, which is pretty good game. I mean, it's kind of outdated, but in my opinion, this is a really good game. It's a lot tougher than the recent ones because you don't have to get a lot of respect. It just they just it's a lot harder, but a lot of the times I didn't go around, doing all the side missions. What did I do is I would kidnap people, hijack their cars, and then, chase them drive down the road. I usually just stay on the freeway, and I would chase down the road just to get enough respect to, do as many levels in line. And I would do that for hours, just, taking people instead of going, doing all the side missions. I just would do, so, take people's car. It was a great case, disc, the manual, which is kind of nice, like a diary kind of way with pretty good. Then we got a sequel, which kind of mixed with, and this one you can play as man or a woman because I guess the character blows up, but it doesn't make any sense if you watch the commercial. If you ever see the commercial, he's a black guy in the commercial. Either that or he's really burned or stuff like that. Because I mean, if you look at him in the background, he looks like a black guy, and I think that's what they were going with. Because if you look at the first one, he kind of looks black too. If you see him, that's supposed to be him in the back, and he kind of does look like a black person. So I don't know. Maybe it's because they changed the mechanics and but this is a great one. This is the one I really started with, and I don't know why, but it was a lot better. And then I was kind of weird because I was like, oh yeah, you can play as the girl in this one. So I did the character as a girl, and I thought, oh, it didn't work, but I just created him as a black guy, and it kind of worked as the story kind of go. But I don't know. But Saints Row 2 is a lot more cornier, a lot more, actually a lot longer, in my opinion. This one's a lot longer than the first one. Cause I don't know, it's just this one you're actually starting to get a gang together. Johnny Gat's with you, so I think Johnny Gat's been with you throughout the whole series, so that's what makes it him a very fun person. And you introduce Pierce and Shawnee, I was just say Aisha. Yeah, Aisha was in this one too, but yeah, really great. It is amazing. This is my favorite. And then and for PlayStation. This one's a little difficulty because when you're flying helicopters and you're doing certain missions, right? Like if you're doing the boat, if you're flying a helicopter, you have to I guess control it. You can't press the AX or whatever X or the LT or RD whatever it is buttons. You have to literally control it like this and manually drive it like that. And I was always kind of because there's a one mission where you had to rescue Johnny from from the hospital, and you had to fly that sucker, and it was kind of hard. And luckily, they only did it on this one with the motion control on this one, but it was pretty good. Nice, it is one of the best. But that's something I think different about the PlayStation. So if you get the PlayStation One, you'll be doing a lot of motion control with it if you don't already know that. You get the Xbox One, it's a lot easier with the controls, but I think they wanted it for that one. So yeah, But I don't know. I think they were just working out this one. This one, it's an okay game. The first time I played it, it was pretty good. And it's a lot more cornier, but it is a lot more. I think it's very, yeah, it's very corny because I mean, there's vibrators or I mean dildos that you whack people with. I mean, they made it a lot more cornier, but it was still an okay game. I mean, I played this one many times. Between 2 and 3, I played around the same time. I mean, this one I love the best, but this is a really it's amazing to be it, and it is it's, a crazy Saints Row game with Saints Row and a lot more richer and stuff like that. Next, we are gonna get it on Xbox, no PlayStation 3. It's the same mechanics. They fixed a lot of mechanics on this. It's the same game, not as mechanics are not as hard, but it's the same game, and it's a lot more easier, and it's kind of bored. It's like if I want to play it in the living room, or I can go play it in a room. That's why I bought it because like if I feel comfortable, like I'm bored, I'm gonna go play it in the living room. I'm gonna go play it in the or in the bedroom. It's a lot more better. It's a lot more interesting. But that's why you should have two systems because you can go back and forth. See, I want to play on this one. I want to play on this one. Now we're getting into this one. So I'm gonna tell you a funny story about this one. So I went to go buy this game, right? I was thinking, yeah, it's gonna be really good. And the story was, I went to go buy it, and I went to go buy a phone. I was gonna buy, a brand new phone, and I was waiting to go buy this game. I was gonna buy this. Ended up getting sidetracked. I went to I guess Del Taco and had a few tacos and burritos, and I went to go get this. And I guess I had an accident. I crapped myself, so I had to go into Walmart and buy new clothes. And I remember I was in Walmart, and I'm trying to find this. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? They didn't have it. I didn't know that it was at the bottom shelf, so I went to GameStop and bought it, which I didn't find by me. But I was like, I didn't know, so I'm walking. I'm walking in there, and I guess, because I cut my pants and stuff like that. It was the most funniest thing ever. And then I went to go get some clothes, buy some clothes, and I'm looking, I'm like, no, no, no. And this lady went in there, and I'm like, and I guess she was talking to her, I guess her grandchild or grandson, and I was saying she was like, you found something? And I kept saying no, 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 and she's like, I'm not talking to you, and it was the most funniest day ever. I was like, dude, I had to tell him. So this guy I worked with the next day, I had to tell him that. I was like, dude, this is the most funniest thing ever. No, this is sorry. This I bought the PlayStation, the Xbox. This is the one I bought first, and then I bought this one. But it's the same game. Pretty good. I mean, it kind of went completely downhill. I mean, superheroes and aliens. I mean, you're making a gangbang game. You're not making a Red Faction, which is kind of style. I think that's what they were going with. Because if you ever play the Red Faction series, you're shooting aliens, shooting humans. That's what I thought. And if you look at number 3, there's a line that they say in Red Faction Gorilla, and I'm like, dude, really? But it is a pretty good, great. It's okay. That's how I picture it. It's kind of short. It's okay, but it kind of takes this one. I think it took a lot of games because the different games. There's a Metal Gear part in this. If you didn't know this, but if you haven't played it yet, but there's a Metal Gear in it. I'm like, really? I mean, you're taking a bunch of games and then putting them into there. I was like, I think they just were like, oh, I'm gonna take a bunch of games and we're gonna put it in this simulation and then a bunch of games, a bunch of shows, and I go, but it's an okay. That's how I give it. There, I bought these on the same day. Next with that, they already did a review, but Johnny Gat gets his own spinoff, which is pretty awesome, and they play as the legendary psycho killer Johnny Gat. Honestly, who want to play as that? I mean, you can play as Kinsey, but that's how I say it. You can play as Kinsey if you want. I mean, I don't know if the credits will show, the cutscene will show Kinsey, but talking with the stuff. I mean, if you haven't played it, it's like there's like cartoons stuff in there, cartoon cutscenes, it's like a book. I mean, they try to make it. I mean, I'm trying to ruin it, but what I'm gonna say is they kind of made it like it was a Disney film. That's how they were doing because I watched the makings of it, and they were like, yeah, we wanted it to be like fairy tales, but a lot gothicer and stuff like that. It's a great game in my opinion. I mean, you're collecting a lot of land and stuff like that just to piss off the devil. That's what pretty much it is. That's what like the first one is. Because if you played the first one, you had to do that. You had to get respect and get pissed off at the games to make them, make the games more pissed off at you to come at you. And that's what this was. It was going back to that root. So they're kind of getting it, and I do believe in every series they have that kind of like, oh, what's good at the time, that's what they want. They're like, oh, well, this is what we want for the time, not go back to what it really is. But I think they wanted to go towards a certainty. Because if you look at number three, I guess zombies were this awesome thing around that time. So I guess they wanted. It was like, dude, I guess they had to have zombies because I guess zombies. But I think they burned out on zombies and stuff like that. But they are going back to it. It's going back into what the series is going to. So I'm hopefully waiting for the next one, whenever that would be. Maybe it's number five. I'm hoping to see Saint Row 5, and maybe a lot more bitter and stuff like that. And where the series goes, I can't tell you, but it could go up and down like all series. They can go from good ones and then bad ones. Have their flaw ones, and then have their also cases. Like I said, it's like it happens in every series, but they will go back eventually and try to what the fans want, and it's been around since 2008 or seven. Wait, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. 2006. So it's been around since 2006. So that's about I don't know. I don't know. Been around for like 10 years. So it's not bad. It's a bad series. Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want. Comment below. Let me know. Stuff like that. I will do many more reviews, more games, whatever's coming up. I'm not sure what game I want to play next, but because it was a Saint Row game, I was like, dude, I had to get it because I'm a big fan of Saint Row. If you noticed in this video. But thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment below. Let me know. I will be doing other videos coming up soon and stuff like that. So like I like to say, bye. Have a nice day. Have a nice night when you watch this. Bye bye.